Tonight, the Sabres take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll join Ed Kilgore, Ted Darling, and Pat Hannigan at Pittsburgh Civic Arena in just a moment.
Good evening from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A balmy 70 degrees outside, and it's hotter than that inside, where a capacity crowd here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh is all set to watch the Buffalo Sabres and the Pittsburgh Penguins in Game 2 of their best-of-3 series. As you all know, Pittsburgh won the opener. The Sabres must win tonight or their season is over. Hello again, Ed Kilgore with Pat Hannigan and Ted Darling. Pat, you said before the first game that goaltending was going to be the key, and by golly, you were right on. Dennis Herron was just simply sensational.
That he was. The Sabres were very psyched up to win that first game at home, and they come out and really put the pressure on the Penguins and Dennis Herron in the first period of play. But he came up with spectacular saves twice on Andre Savard. He made a great save off the stick of Danny Gare. Another one, Doc Richard hit him high in the shoulder and hurt him. He was down for a while, but got back on his feet and played the rest of the hockey game. So Dennis Herron was really the outstanding player in the hockey game. And when you want to win in the Stanley Cup playdowns, you have to count on your goaltender. And I'm sure that the Penguins are expecting that type of play out of Herron tonight.
Is there a way to beat him?
I think the only way to beat Dennis Herron is put the puck up under the crossbar. The Sabres had a lot of their shots go at him low. Robert scored under the crossbar. And I think if you put them up on him and get him up on his toes and a little bit edgy, you might have a better chance of beating him than down low. He is a crouch goaltender, and that's where he makes the most of his key saves.
Ted, speaking about goaltending, Don Edwards had been scheduled to start tonight, but he won't.
No, Bob Sauvé will return in goal for the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Edwards apparently have touch of the flu today, was not feeling well at all. I think he informed Coach Bill Inglis prior to the game tonight that he just wasn't up to it with the flu, so Bob Sauvé is going to go again in goal. And he played extremely well the other night.
In no way can the Sabres or anybody else fault his play for the loss. Of course, that loss was one the Sabres had a chance to win, had a very good chance to win. In fact, they had a 2-1 lead after 2 periods.
Yeah, Rene Robert scored a beautiful goal, and it was quite a combination with Robert, Martin, and Savard. Martin came in over the blue line along the boards. He dropped it back at the point, and then Savard just waited, flipped it over to Robert. Robert skated in a little deep, and then he beat Herron high up on the left-hand side. And that gave Buffalo at that time the 2-1 lead. Then later in the period, Danny Gare knocked one off the crossbar. Had Gare been able to score that one, it might have changed the whole complexion of the game.
Right, Pat, the Sabres, one of the problems, if you could call it that, centers around individual effort. Everybody wants to win, but sometimes a little too much individual.
Going to the corner. Schultz is on with McKechnie and Richard for the first shift. Pass too far for Richard into the Pittsburgh zone. Stackout. 5:24. Schultz has got it. Now it goes to Richard. The long shot. But off the leg and picked out by McAdam. At center trying to break by. He gets in over the blue line. And they call it with 5:14 remaining to play here in the first period. We'll return to the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh in a moment. There is no score. 5 minutes, 14 seconds. Bob Sauvé again coming through with some excellent saves here in the first period of this game to hold off the Penguins so far. Face-off will be over the Buffalo blue line. Don Luce, Sealing, and Ramsey. The forward line now for Buffalo, and on the draw. Keogh getting it back to Bladen. Tips it into the Buffalo zone. Korab goes after it. Backhanding it up to the line, but not out. Carlisle, a shot of an off leg back over the line. Luke tips it over to Korab. He rushes up to the Pittsburgh line. Korab trying to get by. Gatt, he knocks Bladen down. Carlisle in the corner around the boards. Ramsey kicks at it, keeps it in. Carlisle giving it to Bladen. Watched by Sealing. Back to Carlisle, front of his own net. Up on the left wing. It was deflected, and Luce tips it over to Ramsey. Slides it through for Sealing, but Bladen takes over. Carlisle again. Gets over the line. A pass now, but blocked by Korab. He recovers it. At center ice for Buffalo. It backhands it up to Luce, who kicks it into the Pittsburgh zone. Bladen going into the corner. Clears it around the boards. It came off the boards. Ramsey could not get to it, and the Penguins have it. Moving back, Indrechuk at center. Tipped it into the corner, and Pittsburgh will make a player change. Sauvé leaving it for Ramsey with 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining to play in the first period. Ramsey back at center, has trouble, tipped it over to McCheck, knocked it away. Now it's cleared again, and Sealing's pass to Ramsey, to Luce, in over the line. Ramsey moves in further end for the backhander by Luce. And but Ramsey could not get to the rebound as he was knocked down in front of the Pittsburgh net. Rolling puck back into the Buffalo zone. Schoenfeld going back after it. Round the boards to Robert. Slides it up now to Savard. Is tied up. Savard hits Richard Martin with it in over the Pittsburgh line. Tries to defy, goes in and goal! And he shot it wide. Robert now keeps it in. Richard Martin with a break, and he shot it wide. Shepard has it. We've got a penalty going to the Penguins. Interference will be the call. And so far, both clubs have been successful in killing off penalties, Pat.
Right. Colin Campbell is the culprit in this penalty, taking Robert out of the play as Robert was going into forecheck. Richard Martin had a good rush going there. Moved right in on Dennis Herron and put it by the far post. He shot it low on the long side, but missed the net by a few inches.
Pittsburgh has outshot Buffalo 10-7 here in the first period. Face-off in the Pittsburgh zone. Buffalo will have their second try here with the power play in this first period. Penguins have had 3 power play opportunities. On each occasion, the Sabres have held them on. Now Perreault again. Shepard on the draw. Perreault comes back to the right point to Robert. Over for Schoenfeld. Perreault's in front of the net. A pass. It comes into Gare into the corner. Martin moves in front. Danny Gare setting up. Moves in now to the corner. Getting it back to Robert. Slides it back into Perreault. Into the slot to Gare. The shot, and he tipped it high with the rolling puck when he let the shot go. Schoenfeld tipped it back into the corner. Martin comes up with it. Tried to get it to Gare. Gare now back in. Along the board. Sends it back to Schoenfeld, but it's intercepted. A race for the puck. Ferguson got it. Back with Shepard. Gives it to Shepard. The slap shot. The save. The rebound is sitting there. And it's tipped away by Perreault, who picks it up with 1:17 remaining of the penalty. As Perreault gives it to Schoenfeld. Ahead quickly to Robert up at center. A pass to Perreault. Comes in over the line with Gare. Left it for Gare. There's the drive. A high one off the glass right over the crossbar. Perreault with it again. Moving along the blue line now. Trying to work in on goal. Perreault, some fancy stick handling. Comes back to the line now. Winds up with the drive. Deflected. Robert. Back it comes to Korab. Over to Martin. In now to Perreault. He tries to get it in front. It's deflected by Carlisle and waits the hand. 47 seconds left in this power play opportunity for Buffalo.
The Sabres are shooting that puck high on Dennis Herron, but they're not putting it on the net. They're missing the corners. Gare had an excellent opportunity. He moved in and shot it high and wide. Perreault, with some nice stick handling, was unable to find anyone clear for an open shot. We'll watch Perreault now moving the puck over the blue line into the Penguin zone. Back to Gare. Gare takes his time, moves in, then the quick high shot. There it is, right over the net.
Face-off in the Pittsburgh zone. Buffalo still with a man advantage. Carlisle clears it off. Back to the right point now. Robert is there. Tries to get it in now to Sealing. But it comes over the line, and Ramsey goes back after it. Sends it into Korab with 36 seconds remaining in the penalty to Campbell. Buffalo on the move again. Korab giving it to Ramsey. Sidesteps. Kindrachuk comes to center ice. Feeds it over to Robert. Robert now waiting for some help. They set up. It comes back to Luce at the point. Back into Robert. Ramsey's in front of the net along with Sealing. A pass to Sealing. He can't get the shot. And the puck is loose. Sealing is knocked out. And it's cleared down the ice into the Buffalo zone with 8 seconds remaining in the penalty. Dove leaving it for Korab. Korab up the ice to his own blue line. Now the Penguins are back at full strength with the return of Campbell. Korab in over the line, left it for Sealing. A pass in through now to McKechnie. Went behind him, and Stackhouse controls it, tipped it off the glass to the line. Now Kindrachuk. Had it tipped away by Luce. Kindrachuk picks it up again. 1:16 remaining to play in the first period. There is still no score. Breitenbach in after it. Up on the right side to Sealing. Ahead now to Luce. At center, McKechnie coming up on the left wing as Luce tips it in, goes after it. Luce now trying to work in on goal. Check from behind and cleared by a balloon into the Buffalo zone. Schoenfeld will go back after it. And the Penguins are called for icing with 54 seconds left in this first period.
I'd have to say it was a goaltender's period, Ted. 19 shots overall. The Penguins taking 11. The Sabres 8. 5 power plays, 2 by the Sabres, 3 by the Penguins. So not a defensive battle by any means so far, although there has been no scoring.
Andre Savard, Richard Martin, Dudley, Breitenbach, and Schoenfeld. For the remaining 54 seconds of the period, back to Martin. The quick drive. It's wide. It comes off the backboards. Dudley dropped it back to Breitenbach. The long shot. A loose puck, and Martin goes after it into the corner. 44 seconds left in the period. Back to Schoenfeld. Slides it back into Richard Martin. There's a quick drive. He scores! Dudley, I believe, tipped it in. And the Sabres have taken a 1-0 lead with 38 seconds remaining. I believe Dudley deflected it in by Heron. But the Sabres have taken a 1-0 lead late here in the first period.
Jim Schoenfeld faked a shot from the point before dumping the puck along the left boards to Richard Martin. He turned and fired it very quickly from what you would call a bad angle, but just a quick snapshot. Dudley standing right in front of the net, lifted his foot. Puck hit his foot, I believe, and went up over Heron, who was reaching out for the puck at foot level. The puck went over him into the top of the net.
And the Sabres score their 9th shot on Dennis Heron here in the first period. Schoenfeld works it up the left side for Ramsey. Tipped away by Ferguson. Ferguson in with Malone now. Malone lost it to Ramsey, who fell down. Loose clears it. Back to center with 25 seconds left in the period. It's tipped back in, gloved by Ramsey. He tried to send it up to Loose. Carlisle shoots it back into the Buffalo zone. 18 seconds remaining in the period. Sabres have gone into the lead 1-0. Now Schoenfeld trying to work it out. Comes to the line. Loose, a right wing pass. 9 seconds remaining. Sealing in over the line. He's got 7 seconds to go, and he sends it in behind the Pittsburgh net. Now cleared to the right side with 1 second to go. And there goes the horn. The first period is over, as the Buffalo Sabres have taken a 1-0 lead on a goal by Rick Dudley. Pittsburgh out shooting Buffalo 11-9, but the Sabres go to the dressing room in front 1-0. We'll return with our first intermission right after these messages.
Niagara Frontier and Fort Erie, Buffalo. There is a 4th annual invitational tournament in Fort Erie involving minor bantams, major bantams, and minor midgets. That's boys 13, 14, and 15 years old. And that will be played tomorrow, April the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. Tonawanda Stars, Niagara Falls, New York, Toronto, Oshawa, Kingston, and of course Fort Erie teams. In this tournament, there will be some excellent hockey played at the East and West End arenas in Fort Erie.
And Toronto has a 3-0 lead over the Atlanta Flames on 2 goals by Sittler, 1 by Ellis, and the 3 goals in 23 seconds, Pat.
Tell you, that's an awful shock to the Atlanta Flames. They, of course, lost the first game. They've only won 1 in playoff competition, but 3 goals in 23 seconds.
That must be an NHL record for the playoffs. It is, yes. We've just been informed it is a record.
What's the record for the 3 fastest goals, Ted?
The 3 fastest goals, 21 seconds, I believe.
By whom?
Well,
Bill Mosienko.
Oh, yeah, Bill Mosienko, right. Chicago Blackhawks.
Right on.
All ready to start now, the second period, with the Buffalo Sabres leading the Pittsburgh Penguins 1-0 on a goal by Rick Dudley. It'll be Don Luce, Ramsey, and Sealing starting up front. For the Buffalo Sabres, Luce will face off against Shepard. Lee is on the right side. On the draw, Luce wins it, gets it back to Bolden. Gets to center ice and slams it off the boards into the Pittsburgh zone. Cutting it off there, Ramsey moves into the corner. A quick high drive, and it's off to the goal crease and knocked away at the last moment. But off the right shoulder of Heron and bounced into the goal crease and dangerously close to the goal line. Now Carlisle brings it in over the Buffalo blue line. Sidesteps Bolden to pass back in front. There's the shot. Deflected and right through the legs of Sealing standing in front. There's a drive there by Shutt. It was blocked. Comes all the way back to center. Ramsey kicks at it. Comes in over the Pittsburgh line. Looks for help. The shot, and Heron makes the save as Ramsey is knocked out. Now Loose in behind the net. Puts it right through the goal crease. Ramsey was going to the bench, but stays on now. Sends it back to Schoenfeld. His shot off the stick. And now Peter Lee is trying to get a breakaway. Bolden trying to cut him off. There's the shot. It's deflected by Bolden. And boy, Pat, this period started quickly, fast and furious.
We mentioned the Sabres were shooting high on Dennis Heron. Now, Jacques Richard hit him on the shoulder the other night, and he just got hit there again on a shot off the stick of Craig Ramsey. So I think the players have talked about getting them up high. Peter Lee almost broke in all alone. Mike Bolden was able to deflect the shot into the corner as we look at Horace Kindrachuk coming to the Penguins from the Philadelphia Flyers and bringing his winning ways with him.
Face-off, the Buffalo zone, 1-0, Sabres lead. Opening minute of the second period. Schoenfeld in behind the net. Savard, Richard Martin, Robert. The forward line for Buffalo as Martin missed it at the Buffalo blue line. Races after it. Richard Martin going in after it to the corner boards. Has control. Goes right behind the net. Try to drop it back in front. And it's cleared away by Campbell of the Penguins. A pass up to the line to Keogh. He was bumped. But his pass to Kindrich up to the Buffalo line. And it knocked away in Savard's backhand to the center. Now Stackhouse going back after it for the Penguins. Pittsburgh trying to tie it up here in the second period. Keogh to the line. In over the line. Offside call. Lonsbury was in a stride on the left wing. Ross Lonsbury, another one of the former Philadelphia Flyers. With the Pittsburgh Penguins now. Kindrich, Blake, Lonsbury.
It was Lonsbury and Gare that tangled in the first period of action here this evening. 2 minutes each for roughing, 5 minutes each for fighting.
Two other games in the second game of the best-of-3 series, and that's New York at Los Angeles, Philadelphia at Vancouver. Later starts tonight. Face-off over the Buffalo blue line with Perreault, Dudley, and Gare. On the draw, Perreault. It comes back to Dudley. He knocked it ahead to Perreault, who sends it into the Pittsburgh zone. Dennis Herron leaving it behind the net. Bladen going in there, and Herron around the boards now. Vogelen in deep, but it's cleared by Pittsburgh to center, and Corab goes back to his own blue line. Works it up on the right side. Vogelen, Gare missed it, slides into the Pittsburgh zone. Carlisle in to touch it, and Buffalo will be called for icing. Both clubs have had 11 shots on goal overall. Randy Carlisle came to the Pittsburgh Penguins in a trade last season, this season, and he's been playing exceptionally well for Pittsburgh. Face off in the Buffalo zone. On the draw, Malone against Perreault. Gare tipping it. Not out, kept in. Carlisle back ends into the corner. Perreault with Malone. They go to the corner boards. Malone trying to center it, gets it back. Now to Carlisle. The shot. Sauvé got his right pad on it on the deflection in front of the Buffalo net. He's pucked in behind the net. Corab sends it up to Dudley. Knocked it over the line, racing after it as Danny Gare goes in after it. Gare picks it up in and goal. The drive, and Herron juggles and holds on that hard shot by Danny Gare. We'll return to the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh right after this message.
Danny Gare moving in on the right side, took a quick wrist shot at Dennis Herron. Herron bobbled it for a moment. There you see it out of his glove and back in, and decided under pressure to hold on to the puck.
Buffalo leading 1-0, second period. Face out of the Pittsburgh zone. Shepard wins the draw now. Campbell in behind the net, trying to move it. Lost it to McKechnie. Tony McKechnie can't get the shot. He is bumped off the puck, and Campbell comes up with it again. Dumps it up to the line, over the line. Schoenfeld waiting for it. He is hit, knocked down by Chapman. They both go to the ice, and the puck underneath him. Tony McKechnie, Dave Schultz, and Jacques Richard now on the forward line for Buffalo. Now you look at Tony McKechnie, who had just a fine stint down to the minors with Hershey in the American League.
He picked up one goal in the final game of or when he was brought back up. Richard closed out with a hat trick, so they are hot scorers.
Well, Coach Bill Inglis going with 4 lines here tonight. Up it comes to Chapman, back in for Stackhouse to the far side. Campbell gets to center, shoots it into the Buffalo zone, and it's called on the offside. 17:16 remaining to play in this second period. Buffalo leading 1-0, and a goal by Rick Dudley.
Greg Shepard had to leave the game the other night and go to the hospital for x-rays. He was slammed into the glass by Jerry Corad, banging the side of his face. The x-rays proved negative, and he's out there.
Schoenfeld for Bolden. A pass to McKechnie, breaks in over the line, chases it into the corner, takes the drive, the rebound. Richard dumps it to Schultz. It's the goal post. He scores! Jacques Richard! And the Sabres have taken a 2-0 lead. Richard pounced into the rebound, and the Penguins are arguing the fact that the puck had been held, but Schultz, Richard, McKechnie doing the work on this goal, and the Sabres have gone in front 2-0.
McKechnie was able to use his speed and get in there to get the puck. Schultz moved in right on Herron. He wanted that goal badly against his former mate. Finally, Richard getting it back out to Schultz. right in front of the net. Schultz was not able to tuck it home, as we'll see here, but it does sit against the goalpost. Right there. McKechnie missed it. There's Richard moving in now. The puck comes loose right there, and Richard tucks it into the net. Campbell kicked Heron's stick out of the way. It was on top of the puck. He moved the stick, allowing the puck to come free to Richard.
And I think we should congratulate our camera crew there. Just great coverage of that goal by Richard. Now it's cleared in. Buffalo has a 2-0 lead here in the second period. Sealing takes a whack at it, and Heron leaves it. Now for Carlisle. 2-0. Buffalo leading. Richard scoring here in the second period. Penguins on the move. A right wing pass for Keogh. There to get it is loose, but it comes back now to Kindrachuk. The quick drive and off the right arm of Sauvé to Sealing. Gates to his own blue line. Now back at center down the right side. Couldn't get it in. Comes back to Breitenbach. He shot it off the boards into the Pittsburgh zone. Carlisle. For Pittsburgh. Watched by Luce. Sends it over the line to Kindrachuk. Back now with Keogh on the right side. Dumps it into the Buffalo corner. Korab and Keogh. Korab has it and tried to clear it to Ramsey. Gets it to Ramsey, who just shoots it to center and is blocked by Carlisle. We've played 4 minutes here into the second period. Now Korab on the board. Shoots it back into the Pittsburgh zone. Carlisle will go back after it. Buffalo will be called for icing and will return to the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh following this message. Well, back at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, as you can see, capacity crowd of over 16,000. Buffalo leading 2-0 on the draw in the Buffalo zone. Schoenfeld on the boards now at his own blue line. Looks for Savard. Tried to get it to Savard. Comes back to Schoenfeld. He sends it in. Campbell. Fans were calling for an offside call. Shot back into the Buffalo zone to Martin. Going back deep into his own zone to touch it, and Pittsburgh called for icing. Well, the fans, Pat, are calling for an offside, but Savard got his skate back onside.
Right, and they also were calling for an interference penalty as Fogland took one of the forwards out along the boards inside the blue line, who was going for the puck. The puck eventually went down the ice for an icing call, and I think that's what upset them also. Of course, they're going to yell at every opportunity to try and help their club.
Speaking of opportunities, there have been a total of 10 power play opportunities in this series so far. No goals have been scored in the power play. Buffalo's had 5 opportunities, Pittsburgh 5. Face off the Pittsburgh zone now. Savard tied up Gary McAdam. Comes up with it and moves in behind the Pittsburgh net. Now leaves it there. Campbell works it to the right side for Stackhouse. Up to the line for Ferguson, who knocked down Richard Martin and slides into the Buffalo zone. McAdams in front of the net. A pass back, but it's blocked by Lee Fogland, and we've got a whistle on the play, and Fogland will go to the penalty box. And again, the Penguins will have the man advantage for the 4th time in this hockey game. And they need to get on the scoreboard here to get back into the game with Buffalo leading by 2-0. We'll return right after this message.
Bruce Hood calls high sticking on Lee Fogland, taking Greg Malone out very heavily in the corner, and the Sabres will now have to kill off another penalty.
Face off in the Buffalo zone. Loose. Shepard wins the draw to Carlisle. Tips it over now to the far side. Shot, shoots, and Sauvé, the save there on shot. Korab tied up now. In behind the net, but steps away from Shepard. Shoots it off the glass and back into the Pittsburgh zone. Penguins will go back to set up with a man advantage. Fogland in the penalty box. Loose, Ramsey, Schoenfeld, Korab. Sabres lead 2-0 here in the second period. 14:55 to go. Carlisle turns inside his own blue line, starts back up the ice again, gets to center. A pass to the left side, but Shepard lost it to Korab. Ahead to Loose, trying to get a break. Loose going after it. Lee chasing him. A backhander went behind the net. Now Pittsburgh clears it over the line to center. Schoenfeld is waiting for it. Shoots it right back into the Pittsburgh zone again. 1:14 left in the penalty to Fogland. Stackhouse behind the net. Back they come. Slides it ahead now. The right wing for Peter Lee up at center. Back to Shepard. With Shepard to the line, but blocked by Loose. Carlisle's got it. Waits for a teammate to come onside. Shuck gets it back. Now Shepard. A pass to the left side. Shut the drive, and Sauvé blocks it and leaves it for Schoenfeld. Around for Ramsey, trying to clear it against Stackhouse. Lee keeps it in. He's bumped by Schoenfeld. Shuck got it now. Rips it back. There's Carlisle. He shoots. Did not get through, and Ramsey goes after it, and he is tripped up. Gets it back to Boland, who clears it into the Pittsburgh zone.
Stackhouse going after it. Both teams make a player changes. Now Carlisle on the far side. 25 seconds left in the penalty ceiling. Waiting for Bolden to come onside. Shoots it back into the Pittsburgh zone. Dennis Herron now leaving it for Carlisle with 17 seconds left in the Buffalo penalty. And here they come. The Penguins led by Keogh at center to the Buffalo blue line. Went off the skate of Korab. It goes in front and cleared by Sauvé. Back into the Pittsburgh zone again. Now Fogelin stepping back onto the ice, and the Buffalo returns to full strength as Campbell comes away to the Buffalo line and over the line with Kindrachuk. He's got it. The drive, but he fired it behind the net. Kindrachuk. Now Keogh gets it back to Bladen. There's his screen shot. It is wide. Fogelin out on the far side, trying to clear it. Can't. Kept in by the Penguins. Going after Korab into the corner. He's bumped it, goes to the far side. Now Brighton back in with Keogh. Brighton back, gets it to Gare. He tries to clear it over the line. It comes over the line. Kindrachuk knocks it back in. It's cleared to the Penguin line. 12:50 remaining to play. Second period. Buffalo in front 2-0. Campbell inside his own line, trying to get away. Bumped by Savard, who gets it back to Schoenfeld. And he tips it high into the air, back into Penguin territory. Bladen being chased by Gare, steps away from him, back up the ice in a right wing pass to Keogh, blocked by Dudley. He chases it inside the Buffalo line, in front of his own net. Over it goes to Breitenbach, off the boards. Goes to Gare, tips it over the line for Dudley. He's got Perreault with him, left it for Perreault, in over the Pittsburgh line. Perreault trying to get on goal. Comes back now, passed right in front for Dudley. And Lonsbury on the far side knocked it to the line. It cleared over the line, and Dudley is there for Buffalo. Gare steps back onside as Dudley shoots it back into the Pittsburgh zone. Lonsbury up on the left wing. Schultz is now on for Buffalo. Ferguson breaks quickly. Fogelin stopped him, and it's an offside call at the Buffalo line with 11:53 remaining.
John Pronovost has scored for the Atlanta Flames, and late in the first period, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs 3, the Atlanta Flames 1. The 3 goals in 23 seconds by the Leafs has set 2 records. Fastest goals by one team, formerly held by Montreal at 56 seconds in 1954. Fastest 3 goals by 2 teams, 38 seconds. Toronto and Montreal. Boston and Philadelphia, 65 and 77 respectively.
Jacques Richard breaks up to the Pittsburgh line with McKechnie and Schultz. Fires into the corner. McAdam and Schultz into the corner. Now McKechnie trying to drop it back. Malone intercepts. He's got Ferguson. Richard trying to catch up to him. Ferguson moving in on goal. Check from behind, a pass in front of it off the skate. They stand at it there, and it's knocked in behind the Buffalo net. Now Fogelin going into the corner. A pass up for McKechnie. Tipped away by Richard. Kept in by the Penguins. After it, into the corner goes Malone. He dumped it in front. Tipped away by Richard. Now Richard to score the second goal for Buffalo. Gives it to McKechnie. Up at center, McKechnie shoots it into the Pittsburgh zone. Glove down. Loose puck. It comes over the line and it's called on the offside. A close call there. Schultz with his stick up. At Carlisle, Schultz goes right to the bench. Minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the second period.
Pittsburgh making an all-out effort on the last shift, and they were all around Sauvé. Sauvé was screened in a couple of shots. He was able to get a pad on them. The Sabres were a little lax in clearing the puck out of their own zone. Good pressure by the Penguins.
Face-off over the Pittsburgh blue line with Savard, Martin and Robert. The forward line tipped into the Pittsburgh zone. Clear to the far side now. Martin trying to keep it in, but Peter Lee breaks it center. Down the right side, tied up by Savard, and Korab shoots it to center. Now Bladen gives it to Lee. In over the line, Lee trying to get around Korab, and Korab will go to the penalty box, and he is furious. Korab is going to the penalty box, and the Pittsburgh Penguins will have their 5th power play attempt here in this game tonight. And will return in just a moment. The Sabres lead 2-0.
Jerry Korab puts the hook on Peter Lee right at the Sabres blue line. Referee Bruce Hood making a call as he half twisted Lee around and pulled the stick away. Korab very upset with the call. Sabres in penalty trouble again. How long can they keep Penguins off the scoreboard on the power play?
Face-off inside the Buffalo blue line on the draw now. Shepard knocked it back to center. And it's cleared all the way back into the Pittsburgh zone by Schutt. Now Bladen. Penguins on the move with a man advantage. Here they come. At center, Shepard drops it back now to Bladen. Up at center, shoots it into the off the glass. Sauvé blocked it. Where is it? Sauvé can't find it. Now he works his way back into the goal crease, and they hold it in behind the Buffalo net, forcing a face-off in the Sabres zone with 10:23 remaining of the second period.
The goaltender can certainly help his team by going back there and blocking that shot. He can also get himself in trouble if the puck gets by him, because it'll take him a couple seconds to get back into the net.
Sabres have outshot the Penguins 9-4 here in the second period. Face-off in the Buffalo zone, but they whistle it down. They'll do it again. Already with the face-off in Buffalo territory. It comes back now to Bladen. There's his shot. It is wide. Carlisle, but it's tipped now by Ramsey over the glass into the crowd on that far side. And Craig Ramsey and Don Luce getting plenty of work up front in the killing off the penalties tonight. Is that your brother, Pat?
Penguins mascot. Luce and Ramsey will certainly sleep well tonight. I thought that was a darling.
Face-off in the Buffalo zone. Back to Carlisle, trying to work in. Could not get the pass, and Schoenfeld clears it back into the Pittsburgh zone. 1:20 remaining in the penalty to Korath. Kindrachuk goes back after it for Pittsburgh. He'll try to get on the scoreboard here in the second period. Get back into the game with Buffalo leading 2-0, and Kindrachuk leads the rush at center. Tipped it in off the skate of Luce, who backhands it to center ice. The Penguins will try again. Lonsbury turns inside his own blue line. Up the left wing. Knocked it in, but Luce is there. Cleared it. Ramsey. Reichenbach, rather, lost it into the corner. Now pass right in front. Lonsbury was all alone. There's a shot by Keogh, and it went off Ramsey. Lonsbury getting it back to the right point. Luce covered by Ramsey, comes back to Schoenfeld. Up to the line. Gets to center and sends it back into the Pittsburgh zone with 35 seconds remaining of the penalty to Korath. And here they come again. Up on the right wing, too far for Keogh. Schoenfeld backing up at his own line. Slipped it back into Pittsburgh territory after it goes Sealing. Heron coming way out of the net. Heron's way out of the net. Sealing now in after Carlisle. And he got it to Heron and back into Carlisle, but Sealing's in there. Knocked it away. Pittsburgh on the move at center. Carlisle being bothered by Sealing. Sealing goes down to the ice. Knocked away by Savard with 6 seconds left in the Buffalo penalty to Korath. Campbell goes back after it. Korath returns to the ice in Buffalo again, killing off a penalty. Now Breitenbach on the far side, tipped it in. Gare goes after it. It comes to Savard, tipped it wide to the Pittsburgh net. Stackhouse around the boards. Dudley is there. Now they hold it, and we'll have a face-off, and we'll return to the Civic Arena in just a moment. 2-0, Buffalo leading. Ted Darling with Pat Hannigan, Ed Kilgore. The Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. 8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining to play in the second period. 2-0, Buffalo leading with a face-off of the Pittsburgh zone. On the draw now, Gare sends it in off the stick of Campbell. Fires it off the boards to center, racing after it now. Gary McAdam, but he's tied up by Boland. And they get a whistle.
Gary McAdam is tough along the boards. With that, he has good strength and good speed. And you really have to stay half a step in front of him if you're going to check him.
Face-off over the Buffalo blue line. On the draw, it comes back into Korath. He wraps it off the boards to center. Campbell tips it high into the air to the corner, but it's an outside call. Blair Chapman was into the right wing. Face-off will come back into the center circle. A look at Bob Sauvé, who has faced 18 Pittsburgh shots so far. Comes back to the Buffalo blue line. Bolden up at center. Fell down. Got it over. Recovered at center by Chapman. He lost it to Dudley. Comes back in over the Pittsburgh line. Gare goes in front of the net. A pass over to Gare. Takes a long drive, and Heron catches it. Leaves it there. Now Perro into forecheck to the corner. Perro jammed to the boards. It comes back to McAdam. He lost control, and Gare is on it at center ice. And tries to clear it. Knocked by Chapman. Now Ferguson. 7:45 remaining, second period.
Campbell knocked it into the Buffalo zone off the stick of Chauvet. And Gare's there. Ferguson tipped it to the corner. It comes to Chapman. He's trying to clear it against Dudley. Knocked down onto the stick of Gare. Back with Perreault in the right wing and Dudley on the left side. Ahead to Perreault. In over the Pittsburgh line. The quick drive, and he shot it behind the net. And it comes around, and Chapman knocked it off the boards to the blue line to center. But Ferguson lost it, and Schoenfeld comes right back with it. Schoenfeld sends it into the Pittsburgh zone. Richard Martin steps onto the ice, goes into the corner. Heron around the boards now. Perreault trying to cut it off, and Perreault is knocked down. Vogelin trying to hold it there at the line. Breaking away now, McAdam, but he was stopped, and picking it up is Perreault. He's got Robert in front. The shot! Heron the save, and Campbell wraps it around the boards. Vogelin takes over. His long shot. It is wide. Savard steps on. His drive off the skate. Loose puck into the corner. Chapman trying to clear it. Schoenfeld couldn't hold it at the blue line. It's back into the Buffalo zone. Vogelin will in to touch it with 6:45 remaining. And we'll return right after this message. The Sabres lead 2-0. And there you see one of our cameras here at the Civic Arena. And the Sabres logo that Ed Kilgore took from his room. Brought it all the way down here. Face-off in the Pittsburgh zone. It comes back between Vogelin and Schoenfeld. 6:40 remaining in the second period. 2-0 Buffalo leading as Schoenfeld sends it into the Pittsburgh zone, and Heron around the boards. Shut. Lost it now. Martin comes up with it. A pass through behind the net. Robert out in front for Savard. Went off the leg, and Shepard has it for the Penguins, but can't clear it. Savard now. Knocked it off the boards to Robert. The quick shot, and Dennis Heron, a close call there. Pat, he just got down into the goal crease to squeeze those pads on the puck.
The shot by Robert hit Lex Hudson's stick. Deflected right to Heron. We'll watch now as Robert just wheels around and fires it off the stick, going between the legs, and Heron got his pads down onto the ice in time. Very quick. Boy, he is some goaltender. Dennis Heron. He knows he's got it.
Now Tony McKechnie, Dave Schultz, and Richard again on the forward line for Buffalo. Richard scored the second goal for the Sabres. Here in the second period on the draw, Lonsbury. And behind the Pittsburgh net now, works it up for Stackhouse. Head to Keogh at center, back to Lonsbury to the line, and Kindrechuk the long shot wide. Schultz to the far boards with Kindrechuk. They jam there. Richard trying to send it over to McKechnie. It's recovered by Keogh. There's the high drive, gloved by Chauvet, and he leaves it for Korab. And around for McKechnie. Can't clear it. Stackhouse keeps it in. Korab to the far boards with Keogh after him. Korab down the right side. Up center, knocked it to the Pittsburgh line. They wrap it right back to the Buffalo line. Kindrechuk fires into the corner. There's an offside call at the Buffalo blue line. Breitenbach and Kindrechuk mixed up in front of the Buffalo net, and Breitenbach and Kindrechuk both went to the ice, and many of the fans thought a penalty should have been called.
I wasn't watching the play, and you don't know who was interfering with whom. A play like that, it's up to referee Bruce Hood. He decided to just ignore that altogether because it wasn't in the play. This Bob Sauvé, another save. He has faced 19 shots.
5 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in the second period. Dudley and Richard scoring for Buffalo. Malone against Don Luce. Malone brings it in over the line, knocked away by Bolden to the Pittsburgh zone. Bladen going back after it, watched by Luce. Up in the right wing, intercepted by Ramsey. Gives it to Luce into the corner. Ramsey in front of pass. Blocked, and Carlisle takes over for the Penguins. Pass up to the line. Here come the Penguins at center. Malone flipped it into the Buffalo zone, and Chauvet steers it behind the net for Schoenfeld. He is taken to the corner boards. Now Ramsey trying to get it free against Malone. Schoenfeld was right over top of Ramsey. Fell down to the ice.
Here's the toughest spot in the rink to play hockey, Ted. Right along the boards as you're trying to move out of your own zone. The defenseman, if he rolls it around the boards, you have to turn and face the boards with your back to the defenseman coming in at you. And you usually take a check to try and get the puck out of your zone.
Craig Ramsey, number 10, the only Sabre this year to play the entire 80 games the regular season. And has a streak of over 400 games going in the National Hockey League. And Ramsey with an excellent opportunity to win the Frank Selke Award as the top defensive forward in the NHL. You're watching Buffalo Sabres hockey, another sports exclusive of WGR-TV, Channel 2 in Buffalo, New York. Sabres 2, Penguins no score. 5:11 remaining in the second period of the face-off in the Buffalo zone. Lewson on the draw, wins it, gets it back to Schoenfeld. He is tied up. It comes back now. Ferguson couldn't get the shot. Cleared by Schoenfeld, but Bladen is there to keep it in. McAdam on the far boards. Comes back to the left point. Carlisle slides it through. It goes right to Sauvé with Ferguson trying to get to it, but Schoenfeld had tied Ferguson up.
Well, Billy Inglis making a good move here, changing lines immediately. The Sabres with the loose line out there usually come out of their zone very well, Sealing, Ramsey, and Loose, but they were having trouble. Make a change, get fresh people out there, and see if they can work it. There's Sauvé picking that puck up right in front of the net, getting help from Jim Schoenfeld as he takes Ferguson out of the play.
Now Perreault at center, and on the draw. Again, Shepard comes back to Fogelin behind the Buffalo net into the corner. Shepard after him. Fogelin trying to clear it. Now Perreault back to help. Up on the right side to Gare. Up to his own blue line to center ice, and the right wing shoots it into the Pittsburgh zone. And Dennis Heron plays it to the corner boards. Gare has got it. Sends it right through the goal crease. Tipped by Perreault. Now Dudley getting it back to the other corner again. Dudley moves in front of the net. A shot blocked and goes right to the glove of Heron Hozon, forcing a face-off in the Pittsburgh zone. 4:24 remaining in the period.
Danny Gare had the puck twice in the right corner, and no one, his line mates Perreault and Dudley, they weren't able to get in front of the net on time, and the puck went through the crease once. Heron picked it off the second time. Bob Sauvé relaxed for a moment on the far end of the ice.
A face-off in the Pittsburgh zone of Perreault, Dudley, and Gare with Fogelin and Korath. On the draw now. Into the corner, Campbell off the boards. Gare going in after it, tried to clear it over to Perreault, intercepted by Campbell. To his own blue line. He skates to center now. Back with Lee and over the Buffalo line, trying to break through, but Fogelin took him off the puck. Falling down is Korath in behind the net. He brings the puck in, then he clears it around the far side. Bruce Hood was going to call a penalty. I was just shoved ahead with the glove and they whistled it down.
Quick thinking by Jerry Korath. He pulled that puck under him. He looked up, and there was Bruce Hood staring him in the eye. So he just gave it a whack behind him along the boards, and as soon as his teammate touched it, the whistle went. But I'm sure that Bruce Hood would have called the penalty. Boris Kinderchuk asking now for that penalty that was not called, but what you have to do is hold the puck. Korath slid it under him and then out the back very quickly.
4 minutes, 4 seconds remaining in the period. That sends on Robert, Martin, and Savard.
Kinderchuk was probably saying to Bruce Hood, you called me for a delay of the game, holding on to the puck. Why didn't you call Korath? Come on.
Savard against Kinderchuk on the draw in the Buffalo zone. On the face-off, Schoenfeld coming up with it, tries to get away from Kinderchuk. Stopped by Lonsbury. Robert is there, and he tips it down the ice into the Pittsburgh zone to Bladen. Going back after it. Martin into forecheck. A pass over the line now to Keogh, and a left wing pass at center for Lonsbury. Shoots it into the Buffalo zone. Sauvé stopping it now. It's tied up on the boards. Loose puck behind the net. Keogh down to the boards by Breitenbach. Cleared by Schoenfeld to the corner, and Robert has it. Back up the ice, and a pass blocked at center by Bladen. Back inside his own blue line, turns to get away from Savard. Right wing pass to Keogh, in over the line. Kinderchuk in front of the net, but he's checked from behind by Breitenbach. Kinderchuk to the corner. Savard in there. Breitenbach. Now Robert. He's bumped by Lonsbury. Loose puck, and they get a whistle on the play with 3 minutes and 18 seconds remaining here in period number 2.
Sabre is playing a little bit defensively. It's one thing I'm sure that Billy Inglis does not want to do. There's a sign for an ex-Penguin. Now a Sabre. Slam Schultz. Schultz is usually the one that does the slamming. Seems any town he plays for, love him, and the rest of the teams hate him.
Now loose, Ramsey and Sealing. Back in the forward line with Boland and Korath. Bill Stewart not in the lineup tonight. Larry Playfair, Bill Height. But all the players made the trip here to Pittsburgh. Knocked in behind the Buffalo net, Sauvé, leaving it for Korab, and he dropped it up now to Ramsey. To his own blue line. A pass on the right side for Sealing at center. Backhands it off. Don Lucen below picks it up. Drops it up on the right side. Too far for Ferguson. Korab just tips it to Luce. Goes to the Pittsburgh line. Campbell's pass on the left wing. McAdam comes in over the line. Step by Bolin. Can't get the shot. Trying to drop it back. Tied up by Luce. Ferguson now at Bolin. Now McAdam into the corner. Trying to send it off the skate of Ramsey. Malone goes in after it. Back to the point. It goes to Campbell. His screen shot. He scores! 2 minutes and 41 seconds left in the second period. The Penguins get on the scoreboard, and the long shot from back at the point. It's a 2-1 score, Buffalo leading.
Well, the Penguins had been putting the pressure on the Sabres for the last half of this period. Finally, it paid off as Campbell took a shot from the left point. I believe it might have hit someone as it went up into the top corner over Sauvé's shoulder. There's Malone getting the puck back to Campbell at the point. His shot, try and follow it. Sauvé's going down, seems to have had the puck. All of a sudden it hit something and went up into the top corner over his shoulder. We did not see what it hit or who it hit out in front of Sauvé, but you could tell from his reaction following the puck in that he had his eye on it, going to catch it in his glove, and it was tipped over his shoulder.
And the Penguins fans come to life here in the second period with their team scoring to get it back into this hockey game. In the second period, still plenty of hockey left here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh tonight. 2:41 remaining to play in the second period. Former Sabre Gary McAdam picks up 1 assist at the 17-19 mark on Campbell's goal. Buffalo 2, Pittsburgh 1. Ready for the face-off following that Pittsburgh goal. Gilbert Perreault, Dudley, and Gare with the Breitenbach and Schoenfeld. The Penguins will try to tie it up before the end of the second period. Shut to the far board, shoots it back into the Buffalo zone. Schoenfeld into the corner. 2 forecheckers for the Penguins. Lee lost it now. Dudley trying to clear it, but stepped in by Peter Lee. A pass blocked by Schoenfeld. He lost it now to Shepard. The shot is wide. Gare in the far boards. He sends it over the line and back into Pittsburgh territory. Bladen watched by Dudley. Put off the skate of Dudley. Shepard picks it up. Dropped it back into the corner. Carlisle knocked away by Breitenbach to Gare. It comes to Dudley now. A loose puck in front. It's tipped away. Up to the right side. Leaves and back. The Sabres are back. Moves to the Buffalo blue line. Into that right side, but had it knocked away, and a good defensive move by Breitenbach. The play can't clear it. Kept in by Carlisle. Over it goes for Lee. Sliding save by Schoenfeld and Perreault. Gets it over the line to Dudley. He is stopped. Lee brings it back in. He's knocked off the puck by Dudley. Schoenfeld ahead to Dudley and shoots it into the Pittsburgh zone. 1:44 remaining in the second period. Carlisle behind the net. Buffalo makes a player change. At center, Korab is there. Shot it off Gare. Tipped it into the Pittsburgh zone. And Savard going in deep. He bumps now, trying to get it back. Savard stick handling with it. Comes back to the blue line into the slot, and Martin laughed at it but missed it, and a shot by the Penguins to center. Now Bowden, 1:19 remaining. Robert over to Savard. It went off Savard. Taken by Keogh down the right wing. A pass at center, tipped now into the Buffalo zone. Korab goes back after it around for Robert on the right side. Lost it, and Kindrichuk has it. 1 minute remaining to play here in the second period. 2-1 Buffalo leading. Kindrichuk stopped by Savard. It comes over now, Richard Martin and Keogh. Martin slapped at it, comes up with it for Buffalo. Cleared it high into the air. A bouncing puck. Knocked away by Robert. Savard's with him. Robert goes down. Savard is tripped up, and Campbell went to the ice as well. Comes back to the line. Richard Martin trying to get it on goal. Couldn't last the puck, and it's cleared now to center. Korab shoots it back in. Wide to the Pittsburgh net. Into the corner. Back out to the far side. It comes back to Breitenbach. 28 seconds left in the period. Over to Martin. A backhander. Heron, the save, the rebound. It comes back to Schoenfeld. He shoots. He fanned at it. Comes right back to Schoenfeld. 18 seconds left in the period. Tipped it back into the corner. Luce getting it back now to Martin. Martin trying to get the shot. There's the drive off the skate. Keogh, 10 seconds remaining in the period. Ahead to center. 7 seconds. 6. The shot off the skate of Breitenbach. 3 seconds to go. They jam to the boards, and there goes the buzzer to win the second period here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. And the Sabres almost opened up another 2-goal lead in the dying seconds of this second period. So the score, after 2 periods of play, the Buffalo Sabres 2, the Pittsburgh Penguins 1. We'll return with our second intermission following these messages. The loose line will start again for Buffalo. Jacques Richard, who scored his first hat trick in the National Hockey League the other night in Buffalo. The final game of the regular season against Colorado. Now they're taking some excess water off the ice surface in front of the Buffalo net prior to the face-off to get the third period underway. In that second period, both teams had 10 shots on goal. Pittsburgh with 21 shots overall after 2 periods. Buffalo with 19. Still having some trouble to the left of your screen there in front of Bob Sauvé with the water, but apparently he's got it corrected now.
Well, we were mentioning in the intermission, Ted, just how warm it is in this building, and I imagine the water is just not freezing. As we look down to center ice, you can see the glare of the water in the center ice zone where the lights are hitting the ice. There, you see it there. You can see the lights glaring in the water on the ice. It just did not freeze quite as it should when the building is a little cooler.
Well, there's still a lot of ice in the center circle, covering one of the Penguins.
If we were doing this game way up north, we would say the rink rats are on the ice. That's what we used to call the guys that clean the ice. It was usually young fellows who would clean the ice in order to get free ice time, to learn to skate and play the game.
Now Jerry Korab is calling the linesman back into the Buffalo zone to the right of Bob Sauvé in the face-off circle, and now Schoenfeld is calling over the referee, Bruce Hood.
This might have been a night to just shave the ice and not water it, not flood it. You can turn off the water on the Zamboni and just shave the ice down. Then I guess the players would say, well, that would be sticky also. Colin Campbell, who has the Pittsburgh goal tonight, taking a slap shot from the point, deflecting off the Sabre in front of the net and over Sauvé's outstretched glove. Both goaltenders giving up the same kind of a goal. Dudley looked like Martin's shot was going to be stopped by Heron, and it hit Dudley in the foot and went up over his glove.
5-1 now, Toronto leading Atlanta. Now the game at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto is the Leafs. We'll try to take that best-of-3 series in 2 straight. And they have a good opportunity now, ahead 5-1. Now Bruce Hood is going back to examine that water situation again to the right of Bob Sauvé. It looks like he's going to call the maintenance crew on again. So we're still going to have a bit of a delay here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh as we wait the start of the third period. We're all set. Third period is underway, and Ramsey sends it back into the Buffalo zone. Sauvé leaving it for Korab. Works it to the right. Lines it ahead to Don Luce at the blue line. Up at center. He's got ceiling. Couldn't hit him with the pass at the Pittsburgh line. And as a result, it's an offside call. Greg Malone, 35 goals.
It was his forechecking along with Gary McAdam to set up the goal by Campbell. late in that second period to put the Penguins on the scoreboard.
On the draw, it comes back into the Pittsburgh zone to Carlisle. Watched by Ramsey to the far side. Loose will go to try to keep it in. He does. A quick shot in behind the net. Now Sealing going after it. Slaps it in behind the net. Bladen is there for Pittsburgh. Up off the boards for Keel. But Ramsey is there to keep it in. Got it off the corner glass. Back to the other corner. Sealing going in along the boards, attempting to keep it in against Carlisle. Coming up with it is Loose. He is checked from behind. Loose gives it to Sealing. A backhander. Goes to the far corner with deflected Ramsey. Getting it back to Korab. The screen shot went off the leg. Korab kicks at it to Ramsey. There's his drive. Deflected by Sealing in front of the net. There's Bowman's shot. It is wide. Korab goes back to center. Takes it right back into his own zone. Turns to get away from Kindrachuk, and he has to go back in behind the Buffalo net. Now Korab up on the left side, tipped by Ramsey into the Pittsburgh zone. Carlisle will go back after it, and the Buffalo Sabres will be called for icing. And that'll bring the face-off into Buffalo territory, and will return to the arena in Pittsburgh after this. Face-off in Buffalo territory. Sabres 2, Pittsburgh 1. Greg Shepard on the draw against Savard. Comes back to Lee. There's his shot, and Sauvé. The save there, the rebound of Robert. Sends it to center to Savard. Back with Richard Martin. Shoots it into the Pittsburgh zone off the boards, and Heron knocked into the corner boards. Lee getting it up from the right side. Schoenfeld is knocked down from behind by Shepard. He gets up, tries to keep it in. He does. Knocks it to the corner boards. Now Campbell in after it. Behind the net, around for Shutt. Comes off the glass. Over the glass into the crowd, just to the right of the Pittsburgh bench area. There you can see the goal judge with his hands right on the switch in readiness in case a goal is scored. Face off the Pittsburgh zone. It's on the draw now. Stackhouse for Campbell behind the net, being chased by Savard. Round the right side, Lee was tied up, and it comes back to the line. Robert keeps it in, and he lost it to Shepard. Back he comes, a drop pass to Jutt. Comes it over the line, the slap shot, the save, the rebound. And it's tipped away by Brighton, back to the left point to Campbell. The shot gloved by Sauvé, and he holds right on. Not moving in close. Now Lee and Schoenfeld do some pushing. Robert steps in. Now Campbell came in and knocked Robert in the left shoulder.
The building's hot. The tempers are getting short. Pittsburgh leading the series 1-0. Sabres leading the game 2-1. Penguins had an excellent last half of the second period where they kept the pressure on the Sabres. They are out shooting the Sabres 24-19. The Loose line had a couple of good chances. Their first shift in the third period.
Farrell, Gare, and Dudley with this face-off in the Buffalo zone. Malone to McAdam and Ferguson on the forward line for Pittsburgh as Perreault on the face-off against Malone. Now it comes back to the line to Carlisle. Dumped it in front, the drive, Sauvé stops Malone from right in front of the Buffalo net. Sauvé stopping Greg Malone from point-blank range. Ferguson comes right back to the Buffalo line, tipped it into the corner. Now Korab behind the net, being chased by Ferguson. He clears it up for Perreault, ahead to Dudley. He tried to knock it up in the right wing. It's blocked at center and sent back into the Buffalo zone, and Perreault swings back after it. Buffalo 2, Pittsburgh 1, third period. Gare, a pass on the left side for Dudley, gives it to Perreault in over the line. Perreault to the corner, the shot, and Heron grabs that one and holds on, forcing a face-off in the Pittsburgh zone. We'll return to the Civic Arena in just a moment. 2-1, Buffalo leading.
What's the most important part of your car? At Car Monroe, we think it's your brakes. Now, if you've been trusting the corner gas station with your brake repairs, consider this. Car Monroe has been installing brakes in the Buffalo area for over 25 years, and all our work is guaranteed. Each of our shops has a complete inventory of parts for most American and foreign cars and trucks. So when it comes to fixing the most important part of your car, don't trust anyone but Buffalo's brake specialist, Car Monroe, at these 8 convenient locations.
Dudley flips a short pass to Perreault going down the left side. He moves in deep before taking his slap shot. Aaron reached out with his glove and made the save. There's Perreault. Pretty good angle. Aaron back hugging that post, makes the save.
Now Tony McKechnie, Richard and Schultz, the forward line for Buffalo with a face-off in the Pittsburgh zone. McKechnie In against Kindrachuk, and on the draw, slides into the corner. Lonsbury to the far side for Stackhouse. Round the board, Schoenfeld trying to keep it in. Now Kindrachuk is tied up by Richard. It comes to Keogh. Knocked it off the boards and back into the Buffalo zone. Bolden going after it, being chased by Lonsbury to the corner. He dropped it around to Richard. Richard behind the net. Gives it to Bolden. Turns to get away from Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk forechecking against Bolden. Ties him up. It comes back now to Stackhouse. There's the shot off the stick. And Richard swings away for Buffalo at center. Check from behind. Shoots it off the boards into the Pittsburgh zone. Campbell behind the net. Schultz went in. It comes back to the right point. Bolden has it for Buffalo. A shot. It's tipped wide by McKechnie. He tried to drop it in front. Comes back to Schoenfeld. He shoots. But gloved by Heron. Down on both knees in front of the goal crease. Reached up and grabbed that one.
I think Heron had to peek around some players in front of him, and finally he was that low. He went to his knees, reached up, and caught the puck. Schoenfeld taking the shot from the point. There you can see the people in front of Heron. Schoenfeld's shot coming through the screen, and he just picked it up.
Pittsburgh with 25 shots on Sauvé. Sabres 21 on Heron. It's cleared over the line to center. Korab is there. Taps it up to the right side. Sealing shoots it back into the Pittsburgh zone. Now Heron leaves it for Bladen. The loose line. Back on for Buffalo. Clears it, but Breitenbach couldn't keep it in. Now the Penguins on the move. Shot up to the line. In against Sealing. A pass in front. Knocked away by Ramsey to the corner boards. And Sealing gets it back to the other corner. Ramsey is bumped by Lee. It comes up and now Loose tried to clear it. He can't. It's kept in by the Penguins. A pass. Tipped to the boards. Back to the point to Carlisle. Cleared it behind the net. Loose with Shepard in behind the net. Korab goes in. Lee comes up with it now. Gives it a shot. He is stopped by Sealing. Back to Lee. There's the shot. He shot it just wide as Korab trying to shoot it off the glass, but fired it right into the stand. 15:49 remaining to play in the third period. 2-1. The Sabres lead.
Greg Shepard having an excellent game tonight, especially in the forechecking department. We thought he might not play tonight after taking a rap on the side of the head in the glass when Korab took him out in the game the other night, but he shook it off and is playing an excellent hockey game. Face-off in the Buffalo zone. Richard Martin with Savard now, and Robert, and on the draw. Martin comes up with it, and he starts back for Buffalo up to his own blue line. Shoves it ahead to Fogelen into the Pittsburgh line. Takes the shot off, escape at Heron, but Fogelen is in behind the net trying to get it out in front. He's stopped by Stackhouse. Around for Ferguson. He's got Gary McAdam. McAdam's got a breakaway, but Sauvé come way out of the net, and McAdam with it again. Tries to get it in front. He does it. Comes back to Campbell. Blocked. A backhander. Didn't get through, and it's underneath. Savard in front of the Buffalo net. Sauvé came way out as McAdam, with that speed that he's got past, raced after the puck at the Buffalo line. Unfortunately for McAdam, he pushed the puck too far ahead of himself. Watch right here. It gets away on him. Sauvé decides he better get out there and get it. He does. Was able to clear it away. McAdam did touch it, but Sauvé, diving with the goal stick, swept it into the corner. Sauvé had trouble getting back into the net, but he got help from his teammates, and they managed to keep the puck out of the net. Face-off in the Buffalo zone. Now Kindrachuk against Perro. 2-1, Buffalo leading. Comes back to the line, over the line. Now Bladen shoots it back into Buffalo territory. Sauvé leaving it there for Korab, who rushes round, knocked down. Perro comes back after it in behind the net. Perro watched by Keogh, trying to get away from him. He steps away. Perro falls down. Feeds it up now. Bolden goes after it on the boards, but it's kept in by Kindrachuk, and Perro back to help. Sends it to the corner. Korab going in with Keogh. Korab has it inside his own line. Ahead at center for Dudley up to the Pittsburgh line and off the corner boards. Gare moving in against Lonsbury behind the net. Comes up to the right side to Keogh. Gare keeping it in. He's knocked down. Now Dudley on the far boards against Keogh. Dudley battling for it. A bouncing puck. Gare goes into the corner. The loose puck. It's tipped back by Bladen, and he knocked it behind the net, giving it to Carlisle.
A pass blocked there by Peril. Gare goes after, goes in, takes the shot. Good deflected. Gare with it again. Into the corner now. Gets it back to Korab. The shot off the leg of Keogh, who knocked it back to the Buffalo line. But 14:20 remaining to play in the third period. 2-1 Buffalo leading. Pittsburgh making a change as Korab comes in over the line. Knocked into the corner boards, and now Buffalo makes a change. Richard is back on. The Penguins trying to clear it from inside their own line. Knock it to center. It's tipped by McKechnie back in, an offside call.
Richard put the Sabres ahead 2-0 in that second period. He just pushed one over the crease. It was laying on the line, and Heron was unable to cover up on it. Richard stuck it home.
6-2, Toronto leading Atlanta now. In the second period of that game at Maple Leaf Gardens, Campbell. Over for Stackhouse to Shepard, a left wing pass to Schutt up to the Buffalo blue line, trying to get around Schultz. He's hauled down. Schultz will go to the penalty box, and he is livid. And the Pittsburgh Penguins will have a power play opportunity coming up. And a chance to tie it here in the third period. We'll return to the Civic Arena right after this message.
Shot is tripped up by Dave Schultz as he crosses the Sabres blue line right there. Dave Schultz to the penalty box for 2 minutes, and the Penguins again have the power play going in an effort to tie this hockey game up.
Greg Ramsey, Don Booth, Schoenfeld, and Korab now with plenty of work ahead of them. With Pittsburgh going on the power play. 13:54 remaining to play in the third period. 2-1 Buffalo leading. Faceoff will be inside the Buffalo blue line. Coach John Wilson has Shepard, Schutt, Peter Lee, Stackhouse, Carlisle on for the power play attempt for Pittsburgh as they'll try to tie it here in the third period. On the face-off, Shepard trying to slide it through. Shepard gets it back now to Stackhouse. They'll set up with the man advantage into the corner to Schutt. Knocked it in front, comes over the blue line to center. Now Carlisle, watched by Ramsey, tips it back over to the far side to Stackhouse. Over to Carlisle, comes up to the line. A pass to the left wing for Schutt up to the line now. He is checked. Luce is in there. He rolls it back to center. Schutt going back after it to the right side. Stackhouse sends it in. Now the Penguins will move in deep into the Buffalo zone as Sauvé gives it to Schoenfeld, and he wraps it off the board. Into the Pittsburgh zone, and Carlisle skates back after it with Dave Schultz in the penalty box, and the Pittsburgh Penguins make a change. Buffalo as well. Now Carlisle tipping it up on the right side to Lee. Stopped by Ramsey, and back to Carlisle it goes. Up to center. Pittsburgh coming back with the man advantage. They shoot it in now. Sauvé has it and clears it off the corner boards around to the far side of Bladen. Stopped by Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld into the corner, trying to clear it against Malone. He comes up with it, takes it in front for shot, and Sauvé makes the save on Malone again. Back to Carlisle to Lee. A pass over, went off Ramsey. Lee gets it again. The shot, it's blocked. Loose into the corner. It's Malone. Got on with Breitenbach. They try to clear it. Carlisle, but Loose knocked it free. Goes after it, and he is bumped there at center ice, and the puck goes into the Buffalo bench area with 36 seconds remaining of the penalty to Schultz.
Tom Bladen had to make sure he got the puck on that play. If he had taken Loose out of the play and let the puck go by, Ramsey was out there in order to pick it up and continue in on Heron. So a good play by Bob Paradise. Excuse me, Tom Bladen. I'll be all right.
Savard ceiling. Korab and Schoenfeld face off over the Buffalo blue line. 36 seconds, and Schultz will return to the ice for Buffalo, and on the draw. Sealing getting it back to Schoenfeld. Skates to the blue line. Now gets to center and shoots it into the Pittsburgh zone. Off the blade of Heron's stick to Campbell. Here they come. Could be the final rush before the Sabres come back at full strength. Up on the left wing for Lonsbury. Over the line. Looks for help. Skates to center. It went off Savard, and Lonsbury has to go after that rolling puck into the Pittsburgh zone. 9 seconds, and Schultz will return to the ice. Savard doing a good job of forechecking, keeping the Penguins off balance. Savard just picked it up, and he threw it over to Kindrachek. Now Schultz steps onto the ice. And it's cleared into the Buffalo zone. Sealing with Gingrich after him to the corner boards. Now Breitenbach, and they hold it there. And will return to the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh in just a moment. The Sabres lead 2-1. Face-off in Buffalo territory. 11 minutes, 45 seconds remaining to play in the third period, with Buffalo in front 2-1. Goals by Dudley and Richard. Now Malone at center for Pittsburgh against Perreault on this face-off in the Sabre zone. They're whacking their sticks at one another and will not put their sticks down. And now we've got Gare moving in, and a few words with Malone. And now, here we go, Korab and Campbell. Campbell is held off.
Gare is going to get a penalty. And Campbell. Rousseau skated over and told Gare to head for the penalty box. He skated by Campbell and said, "You come along too." So I imagine they'll be offsetting penalties. They'll settle down and go back to hockey very shortly. Nothing came out of that one. Gare moved in after Malone and Perreault were thrown out of the face-off and gave Malone a shot. For what reason, I don't know. Campbell then moved in. Korab moved in. But it's Gare and Campbell who end up in the penalty box. There's Malone and Perreault being thrown out of the face-off. Now look at Danny Gare coming in, and they shove one another. Korab comes in. There comes Campbell on your left. Korab decides, yeah, let's go. They can't get at one another. Perreault holding Campbell off, allowing the linesman to move in. So nothing really developed.
Face-off will be in Buffalo territory. Both teams will be a man short now for the next 2 minutes of play. Sabres lead 2-1. Ferguson in against Dudley on the draw. It comes back, but it's tipped away. Perreault knocked it to center. Third by Hudson, the rookie, but Breitenbach is there for Buffalo, and Malone swings away. Tries to get around Perreault. He goes in over the blue line. He's got Ferguson with him. A pass in front of the net, and Jove knocked it off the corner glass as Breitenbach hammered Ferguson to the glass. Breitenbach up to his own blue line now. That center tried to hit Dudley with it. Slides into the Pittsburgh zone, and Hudson around the boards to the far side. Buffalo making a change. Hudson into the corner. Turns to get away from Perreault. Sends it now over to Stackhouse. Buffalo makes the player change. Cleared to Malone again at center. Sidestep Martin, but he lost the puck, and Schoenfeld has it at his own line. Up to Richard Martin to the Pittsburgh line. Winds up with the drive, and he blasted it wide. Now Robert going into the corner. It might have just glanced off that goalpost. Robert. Now Shepard's pass to the left wing. To the back after it, and clearing it is Chapman. He is bumped there by Boland. Robert takes over. 10 minutes and 41 seconds remaining to play in the third period. Schoenfeld ahead to Robert, Biston, and Stackhouse. Going back after it for the Penguins. Knocked it behind the net into the corner, and the Penguins, Carlisle. A pass to the blue line. Working back is Shepard at center. He gives it to Carlisle. Comes in over the line to the corner boards. Knocked down by Boland. And we'd like to welcome the Hockey Night in Canada viewers watching the Atlanta-Toronto game. There's a long shot from the point. Was wide. It's 2-1 Buffalo leading the Pittsburgh Penguins here in the third period. Ted Darling with Pat Hannigan. Cleared back into the Pittsburgh zone, and Bladen goes back after it. Both teams right now a man short, 16 seconds, and they'll return to full strength. Penguins coming back on the move, trying to tie it up here in the third period. Shepard to the line, the long shot, a bouncing with Sauve made the save, and he did not see the rebound. Now they go to the boards, Luce along the boards. Coming up with his Fogelin. He tipped it ahead to Luce at the blue line. Penalized players have returned a pass for Gare, blocked by Hudson. Taken by Luce, who knocked it into the Pittsburgh zone. And it's tipped back to the Buffalo blue line. Fogelin is there. Knocked it off the boards to Luce, to Ramsey, going in his goal. He shoots, it was blocked. Ramsey trying to get it back. He can to the boards. Comes around to Fogelin. There's his screenshot, a pass for Gare, and he was tied up. Ramsey going after it. Luce is in front of the net, but Ramsey was taken to the boards. Cleared by the Penguins. Fogelin trying to keep it in. Knocked in Gingrich. 9 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the third period. 2-1. Buffalo leading the long shot off the leg and off the glass into the Buffalo zone to the corner boards. Now Kindrechuk. He's checked by Gare and Fogren. Has it for Buffalo. A pass sends away Korab. He rushes back with Ramsey on the left side and over the Pittsburgh line. Korab, quick drive. The save by Heron. Now McAdams around to the right side. 8 minutes and 48 seconds left. Hot to center. Winding up is below in the long drive wide. Sauvé out of the net. McKechnie's on around to the far side. Stackhouse bumped by Ramsey and the puck comes back to the Pittsburgh blue line. 2-1. Sabres lead. Third period. Buffalo making another change. Ferguson. A pass now to the Buffalo line. It's tipped away by Korab. McKechnie went after it. A bouncing puck over the Buffalo blue line, recovered by Breitenbach. He gives it to McKechnie. He's got Richard. There's Richard's shot. And it went off the stick and over the glass into the crowd. Buffalo 2, Pittsburgh 1. Will return to the Civic Arena right after this message. 8 minutes, 16 seconds, as you see there, remaining in the third period. Buffalo has a 2-1 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins with a face-off in Pittsburgh territory. McKechnie against Malone. Now on the draw to the corner goes Richard. Back to Schoenfeld, a long shot, and Heron knocked a rebound into the corner. Schultz going after it. Richard is there. He's bumped by Ferguson. Now Ferguson coming away with it up to Malone. He's checked by McKechnie. Schultz keeps it in for Buffalo. Behind the net, and Heron steers it around the boards. Breitenbach in deep. He backhands it to the far corner. Comes back. Breitenbach, a shot. Schultz is there. McKechnie keeping it in for Buffalo. The drive went off the leg. 2-1 Buffalo leading. Ted Darling with Pat Hannigan back at the Civic Arena here in Pittsburgh. Coming back, the Penguins on the move. Now Malone, a pass over to McAdam, a high drive, and Sauvé got his left glove on him. McKechnie up to Richard, back with Schultz at center to the Pittsburgh line. Richard gets by one, lost his balance, was hit. Schultz has control and knocks it in as Bladen shoots it back to center. Now Schoenfeld with it. Gives it to Robert, steps in over the line. Robert now after it, Savard in and goal. Couldn't get the backhander away. McAdam into the corner. Behind the net now to the far corner. Up on that right wing to Peter Lee. Backhands it over the line. And Mike Boland will go back after it to his own blue line for Buffalo and clears it to center ice. Robert missed it. Now sends it into the Pittsburgh zone. 6:55 remaining in the third period. Buffalo 2, Pittsburgh 1. Shepard's pass up on the right wing. Lee going after it, but Korab knocked it back to the Pittsburgh line. Savard tried to get a break and coming right back for a shot. A pass to the line to Peter Lee. He was checked and now Savard takes over to Martin. Hopped over the blade of Martin's stick and into the Pittsburgh zone. Carlisle behind the Pittsburgh net. Steps away from Martin to Lee. A pass but off the skate of Shepard and back to the Buffalo line, and Robert sends it back to center. Now Carlisle, the former Leaf, up to shot to the Buffalo line, fakes the shot against Fogan and dropped it back right onto the stick of Robert. He comes back with Richard Martin and Savard to the Pittsburgh line. Left it there for Savard, but it's called to the offside of the Pittsburgh blue line.
Rene Robert, stick handling through the center ice area at the blue line, just dragged the puck behind him a little bit. Richard Martin went over the blue line, causing the offside, and that line has been playing very well for the Buffalo Sabres. Perreault now with Dudley and Gare. 6:09 left in the period. Lee Fogland and Jim Schoenfeld will be the Sabre defensemen.
Bill Inglis in behind the Buffalo bench, pacing anxiously back and forth as it's cleared by Gare into the Pittsburgh zone. And now Campbell for the Penguins. Perreault, Dudley, and Gare, the forward line for Buffalo. Schoenfeld and Fogland back on defense. Stackhouse clearing it. Knocked away by Schoenfeld and right into the penalty box area on the far side. Pittsburgh defeating Buffalo 4-3 in the opening game of the best of three preliminary round the other night in Buffalo.
Schoenfeld going for a home run, and that one he tipped it up in the air and then batted it up into the stands, and he has been playing well.
5 minutes 53 seconds remaining in the third period. On the draw, comes back to Campbell, sends it over to Stackhouse. His pass cleared by the Penguins into the Buffalo zone. Going back after it, Gare behind the net, watched by Kindrechuk, has trouble with it, a loose bucket. Back to recover, Perreault. Up in the left wing to a rushing Rick Dudley. Fogland with him. Dudley in over the line. Knocked it to the corner boards. Fogland trying to clear it. He knocked it behind. And Buffalo changing defenseman on the play. Lonsbury to the Buffalo line. Waits for help. A pass blocked by Gare. He backhands it to the Pittsburgh blue line. Campbell, watched by Perrill, moves to the right wing, backhands it off the board, stopped by Dudley, recovered by Keogh, steps in over the Buffalo line, can't get the shot away. He still has control of pass over to him. Oh, no, Sauvé! What a great skate save there by Sauvé. Bob Sauvé, who has been spectacular here tonight. Don Edwards had been scheduled to start at this game tonight, but Sauvé started in goal after Edwards came down with the flu earlier today. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are called for icing and will return to the Civic Arena in just a moment. The Sabres lead 2-1.
This is WGR TV2 Buffalo.
Bob Sauvé with a spectacular save on Malone again, keeping his club ahead by 1. Malone has been stymied tonight by Bob Sauvé. That was a very quick leg save as Malone was in tight, taking the shot.
4 minutes, 53 seconds remaining in the third period. 2-1 Buffalo leading. Face off of the Penguin zone. McKechnie, Schultz, and Richard, the forward line now for Buffalo. McKechnie against Malone on the draw. Comes back to Schultz. The quick drive, and Heron. A great save there in the former Penguin, Dave Schultz. Now Schultz trying to keep it in. It's clear to the line to Malone. He stopped from behind. Korab takes over, shoots it off the boards, and gives it to Richard. Intercepted by Gary McAdam, and back to Carlisle. Korab takes over at center ice, shoots it right back in. It's on Heron. Leaves it for Carlisle, and Buffalo makes another defensive change. Schoenfeld and Breitenbach step on. Penguins trying to clear it as Malone starts away at his own blue line. A lead pass for Ferguson went off the skate, and Breitenbach in over the Pittsburgh line with McKechnie. Left it for McKechnie. The quick shot, a late save there by Heron. Slapped by McAdam. Back to the Buffalo zone. 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining to play in the third period. As Schoenfeld sends it back into the Pittsburgh zone. Stackhouse will go back after it, and the Buffalo Sabres are called for icing. With 4 minutes and 1 second remaining as we look at veteran Ron Stackhouse.
He is playing with a shield on his helmet. You'd think maybe in the heat of this building it might fog up a little bit, but he doesn't seem to be having any problem with it. Pittsburgh trying to tie the game up, 4:01 to go.
Ted Darling with Pat Hannigan, and I'd like to say hello again to our Hockey Night in Canada viewers watching the Atlanta-Toronto game tonight and seeing some of the action here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, where Buffalo leads 2-1. Richard Martin races now to the Pittsburgh line, trying to get in. On goal, turns, sends it to the far side. Savard has it. Dropped it into the corner. Robert with Martin moving in front of the net, but Robert pinned to the boards. He picks it up again. Tried to slide it in front. Martin is tied up. Robert one-handing it now to Martin. Can't get the shot. Shepard's in there, along with Shutt. Now Martin slides it right to the goal crease, and Heron has to sprawl on it with 2 Sabres right in front of the Pittsburgh goaltender. Dennis Heron. What a season he's had for Pittsburgh.
Richard Martin couldn't find the handle to shoot that puck. He had it between his feet, didn't want to kick it out because it would have been picked up by one of the Penguins, so he just kept it there, circling around, and never did get a shot at Heron. Heron has had a spectacular game the other night, especially in the first period in Buffalo, where he stoned the Sabres. Pittsburgh going on to win the hockey game.
Face-off in the Pittsburgh zone with Don Lewson on the draw. Luce sending it back, but it's intercepted by Lonsbury. Ferguson misses the pass. Watched by Ramsey. Left it there for Bladen. Up on the right side for Kindrachuk. He is stopped by Sealing. Bladen with it again, backhanding it up to Ferguson, trying to get around Schoenfeld. They both go down, and Sealing backhanding it into the Pittsburgh zone. Carlisle with 3 minutes remaining in the third period. 2-1 Buffalo leading. Up to the left wing, Lonsbury missed it. Breitenbach sends it right back in. Caught by Heron, leaves it for Carlisle. Buffalo another change as Gare steps on for the Dudley and Perrill. Here come the Penguins with Keogh's long shot, gloved by Sauvé. Now Korab in behind the net. Around the left side for Dudley, and Dudley just tips it along the boards. It slides into the Pittsburgh zone. It will not get to the red line, and Campbell has it for Pittsburgh. Off the boards now. Perrill deflected it over the glass into the crowd. I detect some fog in around Sauvé a moment ago, Pat.
He hasn't had too much action, but the saves he's made here in the third period have been great. Gilbert Perreault playing an excellent hockey game again for the Sabres. He is working with Gare and Dudley in this hockey game.
2 minutes, 31 seconds remaining here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, with the Sabres leading by a 2-1 score. And a face-off over the Pittsburgh blue line. Malone against Perreault. Greg Malone has been stopped on 3 different occasions from in close and Bob Sauvé. Pittsburgh with 30 shots on goal. Buffalo with 28. Gare giving it to Korab, and he sends it right on Heron. The rebound to the corner for Stackhouse. To Campbell. Back to Stackhouse. Up to Malone. Steps away from Perreault. A right wing pass to Ferguson to the Buffalo line. The long shot off the corner glass. Gare waiting for it. Bolden picked it up. Wrapped it up to the line now to Perreault. Back with Gare. He's got Dudley. A pass for Dudley, but it's blocked by Stackhouse. 2 minutes remaining to play in the third period. Cleared into the Buffalo zone. Korab knocked it off the boards. And back into the Pittsburgh zone. We can look for goaltender Dennis Heron to leave the net in favor of the extra attacker. Buffalo making another player change. Penguins on the move again at center. They tip it in, and Sauvé is there to leave it for Breitenbach. Watched by McAdam. Breitenbach tipping it up for Robert. He let it go over the blue line. Loose puck and recovered by McAdam, the former Sabre. Stopped by Savard. A bouncing puck. Slapped by McAdam inside the line. Savard goes after it. Now Schoenfeld tried to clear it. Robert backhands it into the Pittsburgh zone. 1:27 remaining. A rolling puck will not get to the line as Robert knocked it off his stick. Now back into the corner, Carlisle. Buffalo in forechecking, in deep into the Pittsburgh zone. Martin and Savard in there. Around to come to the left side to Schutt. With 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the third period, Carlisle steps away from Savard. Back at center and fires it into the Buffalo zone, so they knocked it off into the corner. Peter Lee sends it back to Carlisle. There's his shot, a sliding save by Breitenbach. Robert picks it up. A 2-on-1. Robert with Martin. He shoots, he scores! Rene Robert! With 49 seconds to go, Robert has scored for Buffalo, and it's a 3-1 score.
Ken Breitenbach with an excellent defensive move in the Sabre zone, blocking a shot from the point by falling in front of it. Allowed Robert to pick the rebound up. Moved down the right side. He had Martin with him. Clayton in the middle. Robert slap shot from the face-off circle in the short side. Heron put his glove out. Was unable to stop the blistering slap shot off the stick of Rene Robert. Bob Sauvé, after the goal was scored, skated to the bench with his arms raised. He's a happy man. 49 seconds to go.
Rene Robert gets his second playoff goal. And a big one here tonight at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh as Buffalo has taken a 3-1 lead. Breitenbach assisting on the goal at the 19:11 mark. And if the Penguins don't score twice here in the last 49 seconds, the third and deciding game of this best-of-3 series will be Saturday afternoon at Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo, a 1 o'clock start here on TV2.
Big Jerry Korab has been playing well for the Sabres. He is just so large out there, and he blocks shots when he has to. He clears the puck out of his zone very well. There was an opportunity by the Penguins that turned into the third goal for the Sabres on a great move by Ken Breitenbach, sprawling in front of a shot from the point. Puck bouncing out to center ice. Robert picked it up, moved down to the face-off circle with Richard Martin on his left, and just drilled one by Dennis Heron in the short side. That sure takes the pressure off the Buffalo Sabres.
Don Luce at center now against Kindrechuk. 49 seconds remaining in the third period on the face-off. Back to Korab. Over to Schoenfeld. He tipped it to Ramsey, who sent it off the lines, and when it comes right back to Korab at center. 40 seconds remaining in the third period. Now Campbell behind the net with Ramsey after him. He kicks it up to the line, kept in by Luce. Keogh, 27 seconds remaining. Got it to center. Kindrechuk, check from behind. Ramsey on the far boards with just 18 seconds to go. It's tipped back now at center. Kindrechuk comes in over the line. Working with him is Keogh. 11 seconds remaining, and Korab knocked it to center with 8 seconds. Now to Kindrechuk. The shot, a weak one, so they leaves it. Only 2 seconds to go. That's it. The game is over. The Buffalo Sabres have defeated the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-1. The best-of-3 series all tied at 1 game each, with the third and deciding game of this preliminary round Saturday afternoon at Memorial Auditorium, a 1 o'clock start. We'll be back with the wrap-up in just a moment. Buffalo 3, Pittsburgh 1.
Well, a whole lot of the 16,033 who sat in on this one were unhappy, although there were a few joyous Buffalo Sabres fans. Incredibly, Bob Sauvé tonight stopped 30 of 31 Pittsburgh shots. He was easily the game's #1 star. He almost did not start as Don Edwards had the flu. The #2 star, Greg Malone. Jim Schonfeld was the #3 star. Pittsburgh out shooting Buffalo 31-30, but the Sabres with the 3-1 victory to force the third and deciding game. Rick Dudley scored the first goal of the game at the 19:22 mark of the first period. In the second period, it was 2-0 as Jacques Richard scored at 2:59, but Colin Campbell put the Pens within a goal at 17:19 of the second period. In the third, it was nip and tuck all the way until finally the best clutch performer probably the Sabres have, Rennie Robert, scored, beating Heron at the 19:11 mark, and the Sabres had the victory. So we'll see you Saturday afternoon from Memorial Lot in Buffalo for the third and deciding game at 1 o'clock. Stay tuned for Quincy in Progress. For Pat Hannigan and Ted Darling, Ed Kilgore wishing all of you a pleasant good evening.